right. Welcome to the brewery adventure. I'm Courtney.
All right, ready? Courtney, in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the brewery adventure. I'm Courtney.
And I'm Craig, here to dive into the world of your local breweries.
It's not just about the beer, it's about the vibe, the people, and the stories behind every tap room.
From small neighborhood spots to big bustling brew houses, we'll bring you along for the ride. So, Courtney,
so
ready?
Grab a pint. I thought we were doing this part together.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Grab a pint. And join us on the brewery
adventure. Cheers. I don't know how that's going to go together, but we'll soon see. Courtney, that's a brand new intro as well. Look at you. You're coming up now in the world with a new intro, the whole lot. Let's,
I mean, you came up with a brand new intro, and it's lovely.
We both did, because we just thought, you know what, the last one's, it's a bit too long maybe, you know what I mean, long in the tooth, and we need something more personal, more vibrant, more what you're actually about, Courtney. This is about you more than anything else.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm gonna work on our timing for this next time, and I promise I'll be better prepared when you're like,
Fair
3,
enough.
2, 1, go. Ah.
Fair enough. Courtney, before we start, what are you drinking? What you drinking, girl?
Oh, I have this lovely crowler from Boom Island of Tonka-Weiss. It is a Hefeweizen. It is one of my favorite beers. I love it.
You gonna crack it open?
I do have my silly thing to open it again, but
It's not silly. I try. Oh, you're not going to use it?
No, I didn't have great success with it last time. I can't do it.
You splattered all over your chest. Anyway,
I ain't gonna tell
lucky this is an audio-only podcast. That's what I'll say.
I'm really good at opening beer. Everybody.
Wow, Courtney. No
good.
wonder. All I say is no wonder you get try to get picked up every time you're at a bar with when you spray it all over yourself like that. Just saying. Anyway, how does it taste? How does it taste, Courtney? How does it taste?
I mean, the part that splashed in my mouth already is pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Have another sip. Tell me. How did you go?
Oh, just as good as when I get it on tap.
Courtney, you're drinking out of the can.
I know, I had to. I made a mess.
What about the rat poo, Courtney? What about the rat poo?
Well, I probably just had a side of rat poo.
You know from last episode, Courtney, how we discussed the rat poo. Oh, listen to that.
I'm spilling it on the floor also.
Of course you are.
I'm a professional over here.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. No, we discussed that last episode, Courtney, how you said, you can't drink from a can because of the rats and stuff. And I'm like, well, hang on, you pour it out of the can and the pour goes over that same lip that you put your lips on. So anyway.
I've thought about this many times since you pointed that out. And I've kind of in my head cursed your name oh, Craig, why did you have to tell me that?
Because I speak of the truth, Courtney. I speak of the truth. Meanwhile, I am drinking this one here it's a Handle Barley Wine Series 7. It's a vintage 2020. Yes, vintage 20. It's a barrel. It's a barrel aged, right?
You got fancy beer.
I got fancy beer. It's in a bottle though. It's in a bottle, so it's not a can. It's in a bottle.
That's okay.
I do have my bottle open with me. It's from Gross and Bart Brew, which is exactly where I'm located right now as we speak. And if you can't hear by my voice, I've already had a flight. I'll just say that. The episode on Gross and Bart, we will talk about that next episode, not this one, because it's too late. It's too late now to talk about it. So anyway, I'll open this one, shall I? This time it's going to be done by a bottle opener. See how it sounds any different for the bottle opener?
This is the first. Nice.
Oh, hang on. Oh, there we go. Popped it up. There's no fizz. There's no splut. There's nothing else. But I'll have a sip. Oh, Courtney.
I wish I'd taken a picture of that.
Oh, Courtney, if I finish this, I'll let you know now. As I drink this throughout the episode, you'll hear my voice slowly start to slur more and more. Wow, that is really good, but really deep and thick with actual... Oh...
The happy Craig noises.
Wow. English barley wine, malt forward, featuring spelt and enriched by a 3-hour boil to create notes of toffee, raisin, and bread crust. Strong ester character similar to bananas flambé. So, yeah, all I got was this is heavy. This is a 9%er, so.
We're both having kind of like banana and clove in my Hefeweizen, and there we go. We're so coordinated.
Bananas. But anyway, that's a different song. I told you this has started off really bad.
Okay,
right.
Craig, we do need to catch up on something.
Yes, we do. What we need to catch up on?
What? On our last episode, we talked about the order in which we both end up drinking flights.
Yes.
I had a little bit of a talking to by my friend Dan from a One Pint Stand. Yeah. Hi, Dan. And Jesse from Boom Island. Mm-hmm. Hi, Jesse. Who both told me separately, you guys are doing this all wrong.
So reflect though, Courtney. First and foremost, if people haven't listened to the last episode, what did we talk about? What was the order you're talking about?
We both talked about how we start with a sour.
Yes.
And we kind of get into whatever and end up with like a porter or a stout or something at the end. And we both like, I think that's how I've always done my flights. Yeah. That's apparently how you do your flights.
Yeah.
But Craig, we need to change our ways.
Tell me what. All right. What the beer experts actually, because I'm not a beer expert. I just like drinking.
I'm not either. I have beer expert friends.
Fair enough. What do your beer expert friends say?
All right. Just like a general, like without getting too detailed about it, general rule of thumb is you want to start with a beer that is low in ABV and is not super bittery, doesn't have like a lot of hoppiness to it, and doesn't have a lot of acidicness like a sour would. So you want to start with something that doesn't have a lot of flavor.
They want to start
low
with an
ABV.
Ale. They want to start with the lightest ale that the brewery has.
Because if they can't make that, if they don't do that well, chances are the other beers aren't going to be done.
Fair enough. I understand that. I understand the get-go. And then what after that?
So you kind of work your way up. You work your way up by ABV is kind of, again, a general rule of thumb because it most of the time works. If you're going to throw a sour into the mix, you kind of want to be careful where that lands, just remembering that it is going to be a punch of flavor. And if you, they likened it, I think Dan likened it to a speaker system. If you have that sour too early on, it's like blowing out a speaker. Your taste buds are kind of like shot after that and things aren't going to taste the same.
See,
but
for me, it's a reset.
If you want to reset, I think somebody at one point had said, like, smell coffee beans or do something like, don't do that.
No.
That's also like a very strong smell, and it's not going to be a reset. If you want to reset, smell your skin.
Smell your own skin, like your arm.
Yeah. Like smell your arm, smell your hand, like smell you. If
you're going to smell your own skin, Courtney, 9 times out of 10, the beer tender is not going to come back at you with any, like, they're going to look at you and go, oh, he or she's weird. We're not going to go back to them again.
I mean, right now my skin smells like beer because I spilled all over myself.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know.
So that's a good reason. Hang on, I'll have a listen.
Yeah.
Hang on, now I have a sip of my beer.
Yeah.
It's still as strong as it was the first time I drank it. Okay, so that's a good tip, though. This is good tips, yeah. So
try it next time.
Have a sniff of your own skin in between the different types of brews, yeah? And then what after that? Just basically go up as per ABV.
Yes,
not
generally go up by ABV, but also keep in mind, again, a sour is going to be very acidic, and you don't want to have that super early, that kind of thing.
Wow.
So
interesting. I've been drinking all wrong. I'm going to have to go back and I'm going to go back to every single brewery that I've been to and start again.
Yep, redo.
I'm going to do
you get a mulligan.
A full redo. A full redo. I like it.
Yeah.
Wow, there you go. So that's I'll be honest with you, if you're a listener out there, trust that more than me or Courtney because because I'll be honest with Courtney, and like yourself as well, we aren't beer experts. We just know what we like. We know what we don't like, and we know what we like to drink. But at the same time, and as you said before, this podcast itself is more about the ambience of the breweries, the going into the brewery and having an adventure, the brewery adventure.
Yes.
Not the what's the best beer. No, it's not that podcast. It's the brewery adventure podcast. So that makes sense, Courtney. So
yeah,
very cool, very cool. I like that. You know what? I'm going to sniff my own skin every single time. I'm going to sniff my arm and let me see how many beer tenders come
What
up
are
to
you
me
doing?
after and go, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, I was told to do this from an expert. They said to smell your own skin. So I smelled my own skin before. And let's see if I get kicked out or if I get offered a glass of water instead.
Or maybe they look at you and they're like, this guy's a professional.
Well, I doubt that.
It could happen.
Oh, well, yeah, but no. But anyway, it sounds good. Sounds good, Courtney. So thank you. Who was that? Was it Dan from...
That was Dan from a One Pint Stand.
One Pint Stand.
And Jesse from over at Boom Island, whose beer I'm drinking today.
Oh, nice. And I do follow now One Pint Stand Dan as well on Instagram too. So if you don't follow One Pint Stand Dan on Instagram, you should because, by the sounds of it, he has all the information, all the real stuff.
He's got the beer knowledge.
Not just the beer knowledge. Whereas I'm just the friendly, laughable, jokey sort of fellow that you sit at the bar and go, geez, I had a good time at the brewery today because I met this guy from Australia and he was funny. That's me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Did I educate them on beer drinking? No.
But you educated them on fun times at the brewery.
Absolutely. Always educate on fun times. Courtney, how many places and what have you been to up to in the last couple of weeks?
I have been going to a bunch of event things the last couple of weeks because it just seems like it's event season right now.
Yeah. Well, Minnesota it is. So
the last 2 weekends specifically, I've gone to 2 different Pickle Fests.
What? PickleFest, yeah.
Yep, I love pickles. And there was a brewery up in St. Cloud doing a Pickle Fest one weekend. And then this last weekend, there was one here in the Twin Cities area doing another Pickle Fest. So I unfortunately was a little bit disappointed by both of them for very different reasons. But I feel like you should never turn down going to a Pickle Fest.
This is true, and I'll be honest with you. I'm from Australia. I'm not from America, and there's less pickle forward in Australia. It is really a lot less pickle forward. We don't have the whole Pickle Fest like you do in America. And so I have tried my own different, I will not pass up a pickle beer, a pickle sour, that sort of thing too. Like I had one today and it was quite delicious. But in saying that, Courtney, I bought a 4-pack of this pickle sour that I still have 3 of in my van because I didn't like it. It's from Distill Brewery and it's a dill pickle sour beer made with Sucker Punch pickle brine. So
wait, I've had that.
You've had that one? Wow. I
have some of that in my refrigerator, except the label's red.
Oh, yeah, no.
But it's the same brewery.
Yeah, no, I was like, I didn't even finish one can, Courtney. So
Craig, when you come back to Minnesota, you can bring that with you and I'll trade you for other beer.
I will. No,
we'll
trade.
Do a beer swap.
I'll give it to you, Courtney, free of charge on me, like the whole lot, just to get it out of my fridge. But anyway, but I will say that, Courtney, I am not against a pickle beer. I do like pickles myself. I enjoy a good pickles. I enjoy a good, and not just the dill pickle style either. Like I'm talking about pickles on bread and sandwiches and different things. Like I'm on all over pickle sort of guy, but this one here was just too much for me.
I will drink straight pickle juice. So
I've drank straight pickle juice. Don't get me wrong.
Pickles.
Don't get me wrong. I drink straight pickle juice as well. Like that's not a problem to do that. But as a beer, I'm like, I don't know. I'm still. The jury is out. So tell me, Courtney, in the Pickle Fest that you've been to, which one was it? Was it at St. Cloud? Is that the one?
So the first one I went to was in St. Cloud. Yeah. It was at Pantown Brewery. That was the first time I'd been there. Was super excited to go. I maybe got there a little bit late and caught like the very tail end of the pickle eating contest. Oh. But I was still. There were lots of people there. I was super excited. I go inside because I knew that they had like special pickle beers for the event. So I'm waiting patiently in line. And there was this guy who started on my left side, walked right behind me, stood on my right side. The people ordering in front of us got done. The lady looks and says, okay, who's next? And she looks at me and the guy next to me. I look over at him like, it's me. I'm clearly here before you.
Yeah.
He doesn't even look at me. Oh. He just sidesteps right in front of me. Oh. He puts in his order. And then, Craig,
yeah.
then then he very casually turns around and looks at me and wants to start asking me questions about who I'm taking videos for and recording for, because I've got my phone on a little handle thing.
Yeah.
Like it was just nothing.
Wow. So is that so if people don't know, Courtney and I, we do actually have show notes. And so in the show notes, as well, it says PickleFest at Pantown St. Cloud. And then, Courtney, I thought this was actually a type of beer that you actually consume.
No.
But no, this is an experience of you. And the experience is jerk in line. I like it. I like it. And,
it was the jerk in line.
And let's be honest as well. It doesn't matter male or female. Forget about any sexism or whatever. You got to get in line, people. There is always a line. You should know where the line is. You know, be courteous and to everyone around you too. So, wow, Courtney, I don't like that.
It kind of just set the tone, and it still kind of annoys me. It's rude. It's so rude.
It is. But
I did get my beers, and they did a spicy dill pickle. They did a regular dill pickle. They did like a pickle lemonade seltzer thing that I wasn't a super big fan of. And then regularly on tap, they have like they call it the Caesar. It's a Bloody Mary beer.
Oh.
It was super, like the Caesar and the spicy dill pickle, super good.
See, I'm not a spice fan. I can't do spice. I am so like, you know, we call it in Australia like a wuss or a pussy, or like, you know, I like flavor. I can't do heat. I can't do, even to the point where I've been out with Joshua, the geocaching vlogger as well.
Yeah.
Him and I, Josh, go out a few times, and he loves a Bloody Mary. Well, we got this one Bloody Mary at this one time. I'm like, this thing knocks your head off. I couldn't even finish it. It was so hot. But here's a tip for you as well. If you get a Bloody Mary, then you know it's going to be quite spicy. Then get a lager chaser.
Yes.
A plain beer lager chaser. That was a tip from Josh. He gave me that tip as well. I'm like, you know, that kind of settles that heat from the Bloody Mary as well. So, and it's beer related too, because you got to get a lager. So, and it's got to be a lager. It can't be too hoppy. It can't be any flavors. It's got to be plain old Coors Light, Miller Light, whatever it is you like to drink. I know, right? I'm swearing now on this podcast by the sounds of it, but anyway.
It's fine.
That's pretty cool. So that was PickleFest in St. Cloud, Courtney. Anything
that
else?
That was PickleFest, and I drank my beers. I went outside to kind of check out. They had some vendors and some other events that were going to be happening. But by the time I got outside, like two out of their 4 vendors were packing up and leaving. One of them was the pickle ice cream lady. So I didn't even get pickle ice cream.
Oh, no. What's pickle ice cream? You got to get back and try
pickle flavored ice cream.
Flavored ice cream. Wow. I mean, look, I'm not a small guy. Like, I could lose a few pounds, I'll be honest with you. So ice cream in general for me sounds delicious, but I don't know about the pickle flavored. I don't know, Courtney.
I was all ready to try it, but
I bet you were.
Like I just kind of felt like my time there was done. I had really good beer.
Yeah.
I was kind of annoyed by the situation. It was fine. I was all the way in St. Cloud, which is like an hour away from here. So I looked up other breweries in the area.
Oh, yes, and?
Craig, I found a great one.
Oh, what was the great one? Tell us about the great one, Courtney.
So I went to Bad Habit in St. Joseph, which was pretty close to where I was in St. Cloud. That one, not having an event that day, still packed full of people, but it was like such a good vibe as soon as you walked in the door. Yeah. Like I walked in the door and all of my annoyance from earlier in the day, like it was just gone. I sat at the bar, got another flight. I ended up sitting next to this couple from South Dakota. They were in almost, I think she might be retired and he was almost ready to retire. Yeah. They sit down next to me and he pulls out this beautiful leather-bound journal. And it was really a nice looking journal. It was so cool. He orders his beer from the beer tender and then asks like, hey, would you sign this book? So I'm watching all of this happen and she like goes and she signs it and she slides it back over to him. And I'm like, what's that? What are you doing?
Yeah.
So I spent like an hour and a half talking to this lovely, lovely couple. They take this journal with them to all the breweries that they go to. They've traveled all around the United States. on each page, they put a sticker from the brewery that they're at, and they get people at that brewery to sign it, to just kind of like mark their experience there. So it's like looking at a yearbook. People have written these lengthy entries in there.
Really?
He's put notes in, like little notes about maybe what beer he had or things that he talked to people about while he was there. So we paged through this journal, and he had memories and stuff that he pointed out from each place that was in there. It was, Craig, it was the coolest thing. It was such happiness. It was so neat.
So it was Untapped, but in physical version.
Kind of, yeah.
And the only way
about the people.
Yeah, the only way your friends could actually view your Untapped book was in person.
In person.
Oh wow, that's really old.
I thought
school.
It was like a brewery yearbook.
Yeah. That is really, really cool and very, very old school. But, you know me, Courtney, I do love my Untapped, and we'll get to that very soon. But
But I got to sign his book.
Oh, you
I got
did?
I got to put in a Brewery Adventure sticker, and I got to sign it and write a little something in there.
What did you write? What did you write? What's the little something?
I have really bad penmanship, so I'm kind of concerned he's not going to be able to read it later.
So tell me, if you're anything like me, growing up, my parents always said that I should have been a doctor for my handwriting. Because my handwriting reflects like a fly with no back legs has crawled across the page. That's what it's like. It's just dragged its ass across the page, and that's what you see is just literally a fly's butt along the page. So is that like yours as well, really?
Yeah, it's just it's chicken scratch. It's just scrawl. Like, I type everything. I don't ever write anymore.
You're too busy online. You're always online. You're a gamer girl. That's what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. I can type faster than I can write. Why would I write?
Exactly. No, that's fair enough. But the idea of a pen, I like that, Courtney. I like it. Very old school. Was it like a leather bound book as well?
The whole thing was leather bound. It had like a little strap that went around it, and like the paper inside was just really nice paper. I love books like that anyway. It was just like the perfect book to pop out and be like, here's where all my brewery stuff is.
Can you imagine that, Courtney, like later on in life, when these guys have really just settled down and they're in their house, and, you know, grandma, grandpa, for instance, as well, and their grandkids come over, their grandkids are teenagers, and their grandkids find this book. And they're like, what's it? And they're like, oh, Nan and Pop or Grandma, Grandpa used to love to drink some beer. And look at all the people they met while they're doing it. That's really cool. That is really cool. The whole thing was it was remarkable, their experiences and the stuff that was written in that book. Yeah. See, again, so you found that after the whole PickleFest issues that you had. So it was
my whole day changed.
And it was meant to be, Courtney. So if your PickleFest, shenanigans had been a different story, then you wouldn't have looked out for a different brewery.
This is absolutely true.
You wouldn't have gone to that. You wouldn't have had that story with that couple with an actual real, leather-bound book.
We agreed on something that I think you agree with. He phrased it very nicely, and I won't remember the way he phrased it, but going to the brewery is not about the beer.
No, it's not.
It's about the people that you meet there.
Correct. That's always the way, and that's always for me as well, Courtney. And I'll be honest with you, I just spoke about that like 10 minutes ago when I was before we started recording, because I was currently sitting at a brewery in the parking lot right now as we speak. So because this is a Harvest Host location, but yeah, absolutely, it's about the people you meet. It's not. I mean, the beer's nice, but at the end of the day, let's be honest. The beer goes. I think this is a good quote from our good friend Tim, Minnesota boy, when he said, "You only rent a beer." Like it goes in and out.
I mean, he meant it in a kind of a different way.
It did, but the beer only goes in and out, whereas the memories of the people will last forever. So maybe that's...
And like you've been to a bunch of breweries in the last couple of weeks. I've been to a bunch of breweries in the last couple of weeks. Yeah. I remember the things that happened. I don't necessarily remember the beers that I had unless I go look on Untapped to see what I drank.
Again, I'll be honest, Courtney, doing show notes as well, I look at Untapped quite often to see what I've drank, how I drank it, and go from there. But let's just talk about me in regards to a couple of things. Yeah. First and foremost, since we spoke, I went to Lakefront Brewery in Milwaukee. It's big, it's bustling, it's like a big food court. There was no real, you get your beer and then you go back to there's no bar thing, you know what I mean? There's but it was too big for me, but the beer was good. So, and the food court was good as well. Like the whole thing was quite good.
Like they had multiple different like food venue options within there?
No,
or?
they only had the one. They had a restaurant sort of style, but it was all restaurant sort of style. Milwaukee, it is as well. Lakefront Brewery. It is on the lakefront, so you can actually take your beer outside and sit on the actual lake front, which is really
that's
cool.
Lovely.
But if you do that, you can have a plastic glass only, like a plastic cup. So, it's one of those, Courtney. But anyway, that's Lakefront Brewery. I'm going to move on straight away quickly now because I've got to spend more time on the next one. The next one that I went to, because I went from Milwaukee, I drove all the way across to Colorado. That's where I currently am right now. And I stayed, Harvest Host location, at Craft Mountain Brewing in Bailey, Colorado. Now, this place, Courtney, is small. It's unique. Real hometown vibe. Great looking brewery. Like it's a really small brewery.
I love this already.
Super nice locals. Courtney, I sat at the bar, right? Because obviously I'm a Harvest Host member, so I try and get there early in the afternoon. When I say early, I'm 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I try and get there because I like to set the van up properly. I go in, I say I'm a Harvest Host member. They said, yep, no worries. Normally they go, you park wherever you want, the whole lot. It's all well and good. So I was there, yep, I ordered my flight of beer. Everything was fine. I saw this guy behind me and he was like, typing away at different things. There was no one else there except for me and him. And I looked around, I said, are you the owner? He said, yes, I am. And I said, oh.
You just are you the owner?
You own. He's typing away like he's doing a spreadsheets, Courtney, with the comings and goings of the brewery. And yes, he was the owner. And I said to him, I introduced myself. I said, look, myself and Courtney, who did the Brewery Adventure podcast, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'd like to have a word with you on actually recorded. So do you want to flick to the recording first right now?
Yes, let's do it.
Flick to the recording. G'day, Craig here live right now in the field. I'm with James, who is the owner and the head brewer here at Craft Mountain in Colorado. Just out, west of Colorado?
Yeah, but I would say if you were to draw an equilateral triangle between Denver and the Springs and you go west, it's kind of not just nestled in the, I guess, technically foothills of the mountains here. We're not quite on the other side of the Continental Divide.
I will say, though, this is another another Harvest Host location. Again, another reason why I'm here. And, of course, I'm checking my beers on the Untapped. I've only had one so far out of the 4, so that's okay. I can still record legally. Anyway, apart from that, I'm at an elevation of 7,700 feet.
Yep.
James, what does that actually do in regards to the making of the beer with the elevation?
Sure, that's a great question. So as you go up in elevation, your boil temperature actually goes down a little bit. So I think today we were boiling at, our temperature probe said 195, but 197-ish degrees is about what we're boiling at versus sea level is 213, 215, something like that, degrees Fahrenheit. So dropping that temperature, sometimes you still get a good vigorous boil, especially there's dry air in Colorado. Yeah. And so you still boil off all the DMS and everything, all the off flavors that you don't want. But that's really the biggest impact is hot side. Your boil temperature is a little bit lower. As far as everything else goes, I mean, it's really not that much of a difference. I mean, maybe you're getting the water closer to the source. Like we're just upstream from Coors, so we get Coors water before they get it. So,
that's fair enough.
So the minerality in our water is great for lagers.
and this would you class as a microbrewery, nano brewery? What would you class?
Micro. It's so funny the terminology gets thrown around all the time. I wish the Brewers Association, which I know they have definitions out there, if they would just push the definitions. We have a 3.5 barrel system, and we're probably this year we'll probably be putting out about not quite 150 barrels this year, and hopefully we'll increase that again another 25% next year.
Nice. Now I see as well with your taps themselves at the moment, you're quite I say heavy on the IPA. There's 3 IPAs.
Yeah, we got 3 IPAs up there right now. Yeah. Out of the 8 taps. We're hoping to get more taps in the future. Yeah. It's just what came with the brewery. So I bought the brewery last April. So I've only been here a year and a half.
Wow. So it's kind of quite new for yourself.
It's new for me. Yeah. It's been a huge sprint the last year just to get it to this place. But I mean, our our revenue really shows that we're building something really cool.
Yeah. Now, I was talking to you before, and you were saying that the locals here all know this area. They always come and drink itself as well. Now, I'm a big fan as well of things being themed to the brewery. Now, we are obviously in the mountains. It is the Craft Mountain Brewing.
Yep.
You did heavy winters here as well, lots of snow, etc. So it's a very campfire feel, and hence the reason with the names as well. But you are very local friendly, and I just had the first beer, which is the Don's Rouge. Tell me about the Don.
So the Don's Rouge is actually renamed one of our staple beers. We lost Don a couple months ago. He passed away, 78 years old,
right.
Ex-Marine, and so we wanted to pay tribute. This was his favorite beer. Like he would just come in and he would drink that beer, and if we didn't have that beer, he'd just do a black and tan so we could get close to it, kind of thing. So as our little head nod to him, normally it's actually called a Milan's Rouge, kind of a double entendre.
Yep.
And Milan is actually a firefighter here in the Bailey area. He fights wildfires all the time, him and his crew. And again, that's all he drinks is the dark Czech lager.
Wow.
He's from the Czech Republic. So, I've heard some stories from him.
No, absolutely. And again, as I said, it's a local beer, but I do love names of beers as well. You've got a seltzer there too, a Cherry Springer.
Yes, yeah. That was just it was a punny name. We're trying to dial in like what fruits work in the seltzers.
Yes.
So we do seltzers a little bit differently. We ferment basically the sugar water down so it's just alcohol and water, and then we back sweeten with actual real fruit puree. So aseptic fruit puree from Oregon fruit. And so we're trying to figure out what flavor profiles people want after the seltzer craze.
Yep. No, that's perfect. And of course, Courtney, as always, links are going to be in the description in regards to this exact location and brewery. But thanks very much, James. Before we go, though, shout out, where can people find you? Where are we exactly? Social media, that sort of thing. Where can people have a look at your menu as well? And they're coming past.
So the website is craftmountain.beer. I thought that was kind of fun to have the dot beer. I was like, yes, that option. Craftmountain.beer. You can always follow that to all of our social media pages. It's Craft Mountain Brewing on Instagram, Facebook. We have a really good following on Facebook.
Yep.
So I'd like to keep that going. Instagram also. We're also on TikTok as well. Again, Craft Mountain Brewing. Trying to put out some funny videos. And
tell me,
videos of other stuff.
I was at a brewery last week and I saw one of the social media people there throwing beer at the head brewer. Has that happened to you yet? Have you had?
Oh yeah, I've got dunked in a lot of beer. There's a recent video. I don't know if you've seen the social media trend where $5 on Pump 5. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I'll have to have a look.
You're gonna have
to
look that one up. Maybe link a couple of videos. But yeah, social media for me and my social media manager. She likes to just dunk me in beer.
That's so
yeah. So my wife's just like, you smell like a brewery. It's like, well, yeah, I own a brewery. You had social media today. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did. Well, thanks for chatting with me again, James. Cheers, mate. Enjoy. Thank you again.
Thank you.
I was sitting inside, and come early afternoon, some guy turned up and he goes, "Oh, hi, how are you?" I said, "Oh, g'day, mate." He's like, "Oh, you're not from here." And then as he sat down, another guy pulled up in a truck, and you could see because they got the roller door open. And you can see out the roller door, and they go, "Oh, Jerry's here. Oh, Luke's here." So as each one pulls up, they say their names of the actual people themselves, of the locals that come there every single day. And Courtney, they only have a pint normally. That's it. That's all they need. It's so cool to actually meet all the locals there too. So Craft Mountain Brewing in Bailey, Colorado. It's and even he's talked to me later on as well, the owner, about the social media. Because I said to him about the podcast and stuff too, and he said to me, "Oh, we've got a social media lady on board as well, so she does all their posting of social media on there too." Now, remember, Courtney, last episode I said about the social media manager who was throwing beer at the face of their brewers. I said to him, "Have you tried that?" He goes, "Yes, I've tried that. Yes, I've laid under the taps and had them sort of pour beer into my mouth the whole lot." And if you have a look at their Instagram page as well, Craft Mountain Brewing Instagram page, it is fun. It is really, really fun. So they're doing a good job on social media as well for such a small hometown. Literally, Courtney, I'm telling you now, it's like an hour drive from Denver to get there.
That sounds totally worth going out to see.
But you know what I mean? Like it's not a busy brewery, but it's one there where it should be.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
And I like that he's a good sport and humoring his social media manager. doing all the fun stuff.
He does. Actually, one of the beers is named after the social media manager as well, because she's had a car stolen for like 3 times in the last 3 weeks in Denver. Well, apparently parts of Denver aren't very good, like always. So she called it like the sock puppet, or sock puppet IPA or something it was called. Like, I can't even remember exactly now, but it was named after her by having her car stolen like 3 times in 3 weeks. So poor thing. All right, Courtney, where else have you been apart from your PickleFest and your bad habit in St. Joseph's?
Well, this last weekend after my second PickleFest was at Forgotten Star, which we have done an episode on this podcast before. Forgotten Star is in, I don't know if it's technically Fridley or Minneapolis. It's over there. It's a really great brewery, like really large space inside. Outside, they took their entire parking lot and made it kind of into a craft fair, some of which was pickle related, some of it was not. They had a food truck out there. The amount of people that were at this PickleFest, Craig, was crazy. It was hard. It was hard to find parking. When I started walking around, there is a line out the door of people waiting for beer. There's this enormous line waiting at the food truck to get food. There's just people everywhere, and it was super hot. And I knew as soon as I got there that my time was going to be limited. Your social awareness was like, I can only deal with so much. This is not necessarily what I signed up for today. I don't know how fun this is going to be for me. And really, the line of people just waiting to get a beer, I did not wait in that line. That was not going to happen. And it was, I feel like they should have had a beer stand outside. Like they had their entire parking lot with all these craft things. There was plenty of extra room. There was extra space in there. They could have had like a beer tent outside to be serving in 2 locations to make it a little bit easier. But it was another failed pickle fest.
See, you and your pickle fest. Whereas here I am, and I'll be honest as well. When you go to a local brewery, right? Like me, if you're traveling around, you go to look at a local brewery. At first, if you go towards like a brewery that's just opening, for instance, or there's not that many people there, you go, oh, there's not many people there. Oh, I'm gonna be really standoutish. But in some cases, they're the best times because you get served really quick. You can start up conversations quite easily with other people, other locals. Whereas if there's too many people, then you kind of just one of the numbers. You're one of the crowd. There's no individuality.
I think they do. I think they have a really good turnout for events at Forgotten Star. I think they do big events like this quite often. This was the first one that I have been to for them. I'm hoping that it was an abnormality that they were not serving beer in multiple locations for that amount of people.
Right. Yeah. And if you're PickleFest, if Forgotten Star, if you're listening. There you go. There's a tip.
Please give me a beer outside.
Get a beer outside because you think about it, they'd probably sell more beer too. Courtney.
Yeah.
If they had 2 locations, like not 2 locations, but 2 spots where they'd sell the same beer, they could sell more beer. And even if you say, because I'll be honest as well, you know me, and like yourself, you love a flight of beers, right?
Yes.
Even if they say for those busy times, no flights.
Yeah,
because
totally
it does take up time. It takes up time. We all understand that. So no flights, just pints only. That's understandable. I get that. It's not a problem. Yeah. So,
but I went from there again. I left there and met Dan from a 1 pint stand again. Hey, Dan. Met up with him at Insight Brewing because they were having Ogtoberfest. Not Oktoberfest, but Ogtoberfest.
Ogtoberfest. AUG. Ogtoberfest. AUG, baby.
So rolled really up over there, and immediately outside they had a bunch of guys in lederhosen singing and having a good time. They were pouring beer outside and inside and serving pretzels and brats, and it was it was joy.
Yes, yeah, I get all that, and I totally understand all that stuff, especially with. I think with pretzels at a brewery, like they're a stock standard to have pretzels at a brewery. Anything salty.
Yes.
Because the saltiness would then, disembark, so to speak, the beer itself. So you can
really good gooey pretzels.
Yes.
With a nice spicy. You don't like spicy, but there was a really good spicy mustard.
Spicy mustard, or like a Palomento cheese dipping part for the
cheese was
for the
jalapeno
well.
cheese.
Oh, of course it is. It's America. Everything's spicy in America.
That's not
We
even
don't
that
say spicy. It's
spicy.
not nice.
Craig, here
I
we
like
make
it.
fun of Midwesterners for not having
Yeah.
a spice palate. Like Midwesterners think that ketchup is spicy.
Yeah.
I feel like you were meant to be a Midwesterner.
Now, I'm an Australian, and I'll always be an Australian. And we do have spice in Australia, don't get me wrong. But I think what it is as well, Courtney, is that Australia doesn't border Mexico. So with all the Mexican spice and jalapenos and chilies that come across the border, we don't have that in Australia, you see. So our hot or spicy food in Australia is introduced. And more of our spice in Australia, and we're going off topic, but more of our spice in Australia is the Indian spice.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that sort of like that hot Indian spice rather than the Mexican spice, because India has got a bigger influence on Australia than what Mexico does. So
I want all those spices.
We're digressing. I'm going to go quickly, Courtney, for the last few of mine. Firstly, 105 West Brewery in Castle Rock, Colorado. Big brewery. Still trying to hold that small feel, though. There was, ready for this, Courtney? There was 30 beers on tap, all brewed by West Brewery, Castle Rock.
How
so
do
there
you
you go.
You're going to drink?
30. Well, flight after flight after flight. But again, Courtney, yourself, even Tim as well, he would love it because there was beautiful, big, shiny vats. You could sit next to the vats themselves and take a few photos of those, which is really cool. Their great-looking logo was a bear logo as well, and good merch, Courtney, as well. There's a couple of breweries that have had. A couple of breweries I went to have had really, really good merch, and we'll jump on that in a second. The next one for me was Goat Patch Brewing in Colorado Springs. A nice small vibe, this one. But Courtney, this flight, it came as a taster box. Yes,
a box.
It was in a box. It was in a box.
What?
Like, you know, a wooden box that you normally carry around, milk in. You know what I mean? Those old school milk boxes that you carry around. It was one of those. It was called a taster box, and so it was. The flight was in a taster box. And so Goat Patch Brewing, it was called, in Colorado Springs, and again, the merch there was absolutely to die for and out of this world. So, quick talk on merch though, Courtney, and that is, if you're a brewery owner, then you've got to have merch. I'll be honest, especially stickers. Everyone loves a sticker.
I was going to ask, like, what do you normally pick up for merch? Like, are you picking up a thing from each place?
Yeah, I normally do stickers because I'm a van lifer, so I can't really do glass, for instance, because I do love the glassware that they do have too. So, and let's be honest, I just spoke about this today actually to one of the breweries I went to, and that is the glassware. If it looks really cool, then they lose a bit of glassware, unfortunately, because people pocket that glassware because it looks really cool. So I found that a couple of breweries that I've been to have had really plain glassware and then sell the actual glassware with their logos and stuff on it as well. So yes, and
it's smart, and it also makes it difficult for me to take a picture of your beer because I want a logo on the glass.
Exactly. I want a logo. I want a logo on the glass for Instagram. That's exactly right. So that was Coach Patch Brewing. Now, after that, I went to Wincop Brewing in Denver, Colorado. Now, this is in Denver, Colorado. I'm talking downtown Denver, Colorado. It is a bigger scale. Denver proper. It was a big scale type brewery. It was more bar looking than it was a brewery. It was in a city. So it's like I'm one of literally 1,000 people in there at the same time. It was a great looking flight holder though, I will say. A good mix of beer styles as well. But the thing that outdid me and the thing that got me there in the first place was they have the Rocky Mountain Oyster Stout.
Oh, no.
Now, if people don't know what Rocky Mountain oysters are, basically they're bull's balls. So they're bull's testicles. So Rocky Mountain oysters, I thought I was going there and I was going to partake in a Rocky Mountain oyster, but they'd run out. But he said to me, he goes, this stout is made with Rocky Mountain Oyster Stout. So I said, I got to have one of those as well. So, and you know me, Courtney, we spoke about this last episode. I like to describe my different breweries on Untaps, and my different brews and my different tastes and my different flavors. This one here, you know, I was a flight in before I actually got to this Rocky Mountain Oyster Stout. I was excited.
Before you got to the ball beer?
Before I got to the balls, I was balls deep with alcohol. So I had unbeknownst to me, Courtney, like you know me, I do like my different descriptions, and so I wrote my description. 24 hours after I wrote my description, posted it and left, I get a comment from Wincop Brewing themselves on my actual login as well. So this is a tip for everyone out there. Just remember that the actual breweries themselves or the beer makers themselves can view and get tagged in these descriptions just for your information, because unfortunately he or she spat out her coffee of the morning and couldn't stop laughing, and then showed all the brewers my description in regards to this one here being the Rocky Mountain Oyster Stout. I don't have it with me, Courtney. Did you want to read it out in case people don't follow my you can read it out if you like. Feel free. It was something along the lines of if I can remember, if this was the liquid that's located in bull's balls, then yes, I'm starting a stud farm. That's kind of what it was.
Yes. Yep.
It was delicious. That stout was a good stout, Courtney.
I remember seeing the name when you posted it, the name of that beer, and I'm like, it's not really. It's not really, but it is.
Yeah, it is. And I even posted, I showed you as well, that the description on the menu for it as well even says that it's actually made with Rocky Mountain oysters. So there you go, Courtney. Delicious.
Craig, that's an adventure.
Don't be scared.
That, sir, is an adventure.
Don't be scared of trying different things in your life, because at the end of the day, if you don't like it, guess what? You don't finish it. It's not that hard. But at least you've tried it. And you never know. When you try it, you might go, oh, man, I'm addicted to bull's balls now. So,
but if I try it and don't drink the rest of it, I don't know what to do with it. And I don't want to take it back up to the bar because I feel bad that I didn't finish it. And then they're going to look at me like, why didn't you finish your beer?
No. I've seen that a couple of times. I have actually seen that a couple of times where people don't finish their beers and their brews and they bring it back up, and that's, they don't look like their mind, to be honest with you. My last, but definitely not least for this week, Courtney, has been the Mash Mechanics Brewing Company in Colorado Springs in Colorado. This one here, Courtney, was very much on theme, as it sounds. Mash Mechanics. Yes, mechanic theme. So car, what you see in a garage is what you see. There was, there was even a clock there that was like a disc brake clock, on the wall. Good list of brews themselves. Now the flight board. We always know, Courtney, you and me, we're a sucker for these flight boards to be complete suckers. If there's a flight board, oh man, I am definitely posting that on social media. This one here, Courtney, was 2 American license plates, one on top and one below. The one on below was a whole base, like a base plate where all the actual glasses sit. The other one was bolted above, and it's going to be a couple of inches above, and it's got the holes in the ones for the actual tasters themselves. So as you put the taster in the hole, it sits on the base plate too. So you've got 2 license plates, one on top of the other, and they're a few inches apart, and the hole on top and none at the bottom. So they also, Courtney, these license plates, they matched each other. So the top and bottom matched.
So it was like the front and the back, like they kept them together.
Front and back plates, exactly right. So obviously there's not going to be plates for Florida or Alabama, those sort of things, where they only require 1 plate. These are states where they do require 2 plates, and so that's what it was. So there you go.
I'm looking at the picture for it right now, and it's just
you see it as well. It looks really cool. Another Harvest Host location. It was almost in the downtown area of Colorado Springs too, which is really cool. And so this guy at Mash Mechanics as well, his beard. Oh, man, it was on point. He had beard oil in it as well. It smelt really good too. Long, luscious beard down to his chest. Really well groomed, like along the sides of his cheeks as well. So he looks after his beard, you know what I mean? Not one of those ratty sort of hippie-style beards. This was a well-groomed beard. So a big shout-out to him. He knows, Courtney, why? Because he's listening to this podcast as we speak.
Really?
Absolutely. He's a new follower of the podcast, along with my Instagram pages and stuff too. So there you go. A big shout out to him too. So yeah, he did a good job. He really did a good job. So
that's awesome.
I love beard brewers. I mean, I'll be honest, Courtney, and we'll speak about this in the next episode of the Brewery Adventure. But my adventure today has brought me to a location where all I'll say as a teaser for the next episode is that everything here is on point with theme when we're talking about beards, including, Courtney, the Wi-Fi password is the bearded clam. So
all right.
there you go.
I feel like to balance this out, my brewery experiences leading into the next episode need to be with female brewers.
Absolutely.
I got this.
Absolutely. You go the female, I'll go the male, right? Any time of the week. That's all good. And you know, we both accept each side as we go too from there. So, Courtney, are we going to end this episode now, or are we going to wrap it up, because it's been a good 45 minutes?
We do need to wrap this up. I would like to give you a slight. I feel like hopefully you've noticed that my ratings on Untapped. I did drop them a little to give myself some wiggle room for things that I really super like versus just like everything's amazing.
Yes, exactly right. How are you going with your ratings too, Courtney?
It's really difficult. Every time I pop open a thing to go rate it, I just slide my finger all the way up to 5.
Oh, you can't stop your finger sliding, Courtney.
It's muscle memory. It's a 5. I like it.
Yeah.
And then I have your voice in my head.
I will say, Courtney, there's people out there watching, including myself, but I'm not the only one. And we do appreciate your actual honesty, though, in regards to your ratings too, because I mean, you think about it too, Courtney, as well. And there's other friends on Tap out there that they've, like me, they've only given out 5 or 6 5s. But if I look at a brewery, not a brewery, but if I look at a beer and go, oh my goodness, Joe Blow, who's a friend of mine, gave this a 5, I'm buying that opposed to any other beers because he or she gave that a 5. You see? So if you want to influence,
buying beers based on my rating.
Absolutely they are.
I don't know about that.
Absolutely they are, Courtney. Absolutely. And more so now because you're getting more and more followers on Untapped too. So there you go. But don't forget, everyone out there, if you want to follow Courtney on Untapped, Courtney, what's your Untapped name?
I changed it to the Brewery Adventure.
The Brewery Adventure. So follow Courtney on the Brewery Adventure on Untapped. I'm See My Shell. SEEMYSHELL on Untapped. So follow me on Untapped. You can follow me on Instagram, the Craig Michelle Photography, Tuesday.the.van, or the Aussie Geocacher as well. Tress of Our Town podcast, Munsey podcast, the Geocaching podcast. I've got too many podcasts going on, Courtney. Where else can they follow you, Courtney, as well?
The Brewery Adventure on Instagram, or you can email me, Courtney@thebreweryadventure.com, or I'm probably sitting at your local brewery somewhere.
But Courtney, he's still on the Kindle. He's still doing the Kindle thing, or are you actually looking around?
I'm still doing the Kindle. However, this week, people at work keep talking about the new season of Foundation. Mm-hmm. And when that season was about to start, I went back and started watching from season 1 because it's such an awesome show, and I wanted to make sure everything was still fresh in my memory. Mm-hmm. So every time they start talking about the new season, I go, la, 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 I can't listen to you. Don't give me any spoilers. So now my new plan has to be I need to take my iPad into the brewery instead of my Kindle and start watching shows.
Watching shows on see, even more unsociable, let's be honest. So
Yep, because I'll have earbuds in and it's fine.
Unsociable Courtney in a sociable environment. Yes. But that's all right. All right, Courtney, anything else before you want to say before we wrap this up? And episode number 2 for us in general, but episode number 16 in total for the Brewery Adventure.
It's been a pleasure having you here, Craig.
Thank you, Courtney. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, I'm drinking this 9%. Really going so.
Chug it.